Well, howdy there, Internet students. It's Mr. Hermanson again. Today we are going to find the slope of the line with just the equation. We won't actually have the line, but the slope is actually part of the line. It's the coefficient of the equation, if you remember what that is. And the y-intercept is the constant for the equation. Okay? You can also use those to determine if the relationship is proportional or not. Okay, so let's do a couple. The number in front of the x, the coefficient, is the slope. So we can just write that right here. It's 3. Remember that if you're graphing, that'd be like 3 over 1 for a rise over run. And then the constant term is the y-intercept. That's 6. Okay, now the constant term would have to be 0, or the y-intercept would have to be 0 in order for it to be proportional. So basically what I'm saying is you can only have something times x in your equation to be proportional. So we're going to say no. And then if the slope is positive, then the correlation is positive. If the slope is a negative number, then the correlation is a negative number. Okay? So when you don't have a number in front of the x, there's a hidden number there. X is the same as 1 times x. So remember, there's a hidden number there. So the slope is 1 when you just have x like that. Y-intercept is 7. This is not proportional because you have the plus 7 in there. And since our slope is a positive 1, it's a positive correlation. All right, why don't you do the next two, and then you can check and see if you got them right. All right, that second one may have tricked some of you. You remember that the number in front of the x is the slope. So just because the numbers are switched around, the slope is still the number in front of x. And the y-intercept is 2. All right. This number 5, the slope is 6. The y-intercept, since there's nothing added on, we're going to say that's 0. That is proportional. Whenever the y-intercept is 0 and you have just something times x, that's going to be proportional. Since our slope is positive, our correlation is positive. All right. The next one, our slope is 3. Now, if it's a minus 9, then you have to say the y-intercept is negative 9. So it's going to cross below the x-axis. That is not proportional because we have a minus 9 for y-intercept, not 0. And since the slope is still a positive number, the correlation is positive. Why don't you try the next two? Okay, the second one, again, the numbers were switched around, but notice there's a negative 3 in front of the x. That means it's, remember that subtracting 3x is the same as adding a negative 3x, so our slope is a negative there. Which makes us have a negative correlation. Okay. Now on these next ones, we are given the slope. M is the slope. So here, let's write this here quick so we have this information. This is the slope-intercept form of the line. That letter M right there is the slope of the line, coefficient. And the constant term b is the y-intercept. So when you write your equation, you're just going to say 5x, the slope goes in front of the x, and then you're going to, since b is a positive number, you're going to add 2. If it was a negative number, you would subtract 2. Okay, so let's try another one here. Oh, that's not proportional, right? Since the slope is positive, it's a positive correlation. All right, on this one, we're going to say y equals, we're going to put m in front of the x, so negative 7x. We could put plus 0, but adding 0 doesn't really change it, so I'm lazy. I'm not going to put plus 0. Is this proportional? Yes, because the y-intercept is 0, and you have just something times x. And because the slope is negative, it's a negative correlation. All right. Why don't you see if you can do the last 4? Check back and see if you got them right. All right. I think the one that I need to that we need to talk about is when your y-intercept is a negative number. You could just put plus -4 here if you wanted to, but once again, I'm kind of lazy, so it's easier just to write one symbol. -4 is the same as plus -4. So I'm just going to write -4 there. All right. And then number 13, the slope is 1. 1x is the same as x. I just write it invisible there because I'm a little lazy. And then the y-intercept is 0, so I'm not going to add 0. We just assume it's 0 because all we're given is the slope. And that would be a proportional situation. All right. Now, you can also have a situation, and in that situation, you have to be able to figure out what the slope is and what the y-intercept is. The slope, I'll give you this, is another word for slope is the rate. Okay? So think of the slope as the rate. The y-intercept is a constant number that doesn't change. Okay? So in this first one, since you have to pay $25 per ticket, that word per is always going to be the slope. So it's $25 per ticket. If you had to pay like a fee to get into the park or something like that, that would be your y-intercept. But since we don't have it, our y-intercept is 0. And our equation is just let's use cost for all these people is equal to 25 times T tickets, the number of tickets we sell or we buy. Okay? And that is a proportional situation since the y-intercept is 0 and it's just 25 times T. The correlation, since the slope is positive, is a positive correlation. Okay? The next one, we have to figure out which of these numbers is the slope, which is the y-intercept. Since he gets $15 for every hour he works, that's $15 per hour. That's the rate he gets. That is the slope. And the 30 he gets at the end of each week is just a bonus, so that just is a one-time constant. So that's your y-intercept. So your equation is, we have to think of a letter that would work here. We're going to use H for the hours, so it's 15 times the number of hours plus 30, and that's his pay. Let's use P for pay. Okay? You can always use Y and X, that doesn't matter, but this is not proportional. The slope is positive. Okay? I'm going to let you try the next couple, see if you can figure out which number is the slope, which is the y-intercept, and see if you can write an equation for it. Okay? All right, some of these that may have tricked you a little bit. In number 18, there is no y-intercept. It's just how far he's gone in t minutes, so the y-intercept is 0 on that one. I use d for his distance equals 0.25 times however many minutes he runs. Number 19, one thing you want to be careful here, it says how many boxes would she have left? So I used r for the number remaining, which means we need to subtract 5 from the total for every hour. We do that by having a negative slope. All right. Number 21, the temperature is dropping 4 degrees every hour and it's starting at 0. So the constant is 0. The slope is -4. Notice I use big T to represent temperature and little t to represent -4. That's okay to do it. They're two different things. That situation was proportional with a negative correlation. All right, so go ahead and summarize the lesson, and then you can get started on your homework assignment. Good luck with that. Message me if you have any questions.